I got a low pressure sensor off of one of my junk blocks. Look at the difference between the two. I'm sure there's not a difference in what they do. I mean, it's a one-wire sensor that reads pressure, so I'm going to use it. And the other one on my other block's like this one, but it's all crudded up and shit. So this is the one that's going to go on the car. I noticed right away this is fucking bent over, and I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but that terminal's all rusted. If I can bend that straight, it's all rusted in there. Hell, there's a crack in there too, from where I just bent it. I think someone mashed that over and put a socket over it when they changed it or looked at it, or someone did something. Yeah, the inside of here is all gooped up and shitty. The inside of this one, you can see right to the bottom, it's nice and clean. So maybe this is an aftermarket one that someone changed, and this is a stock one. There's different sizes too. This is a 15/16 fits on this, and this one was a inch and a 16th. So I'm gonna pop this fucking bad boy in there and put it all back together, and then yeah, we'll see what's going on here. So let me loosen this shit up. Let me get this low pressure gauge out of here. It's a nice long hose they give you on this thing, that's for damn sure. See if I can twist this bad boy out. There she be. Let me pop in my new, I'm going to put Teflon tape around the thread of my new sensor. One or two wraps, nothing that crazy. Make sure your Teflon tape doesn't cover over the end of the hole, or else it'll act funny. I just got one layer on there. I'm going to thread her down in there. And get a wrench over here. If I can find a 15/16 wrench, that'd be nice. Look at that. Hell, it's even a fucking Craftsman. Damn, I didn't know I had one of them. How often do I use standard tools? Tighten that bastard in there. Take special care that you don't break that tab off. You don't gotta over tighten this thing, guys. You're going from brass threads into aluminum threads. You can strip this fucking thing so goddamn easy. You just want to make sure it's nice and snug and no oil's gonna leak out of there. Right about there's the tightest I think I want to go with it. Give her a little love snug. This is the one that usually breaks them. And then I'll pop the wire back on the top of that sensor. Yep. And I'll take my alternator and dump her back in here. These are always fun to try to get back in. Sometimes you gotta give them a love tap also. You gotta work this foot in first, and these ears in over here. I'll lose that one. If I can get her over in the position. Be careful with the wires. There we go. Get the long bolt that was in there. Try to get that bastard back in there. It's just as much fun putting it in as it is getting it out. Come up. Close. Sure as hell close. Come on, baby. Gonna grab a punch. Sometimes you can stick a punch in the hole there and get it to go where you need it to. Look at that. Straight through. Grab my nut. Has 2 ears on it. Make sure they go where they came off, because they lock this nut in so you don't have to hold it while you tighten the bolt. I want to tighten that in there. Hand tight so you can still move your alternator. I want to get the bolt in there that holds it to its adjuster. Put that through there. Cleaning off the threads with a wire brush. Oh, whoa. It looks like someone cross-threaded this bolt at one time. I never touched this engine until right now. Never had any problems with it. So it looks like someone was in there fucking around at one point or another. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to go back in its home or not. There it goes. There it goes. Alright, I take that back. Maybe it just looked fucked up. Yeah, it went in. Alright. Push the alternator down. Get the belt around the crank pulley, the alternator, and the power steering pump all at the same time here. Make sure your belt's nice and lined up there on every single groove. You don't want it hanging over, because then you'll eat up your belt when you start up your car. I'm going to take my ratchet. I'm going to turn the bolt up so the alternator tightens the belt. Make sure the alternator belt is nice and tight. Try to line it up with the old rust mark on the bolt. You don't want to over tighten your belt. That'll make it wear out fast too. Tighten the bolt. Tighten the bolt that holds the alternator adjuster tight. Now tighten the alternator up. Before you tighten the alternator, you have to slide in that cover, the belt guard. You got one washer on one side, one on the other. You gotta slide your belt guard in between that bolt and make it go down over here. Line them all up. together, boys. So that's how you take the alternator out and put it back in. That's how you fuck with the oil pressure sensor. And turn off this goddamn fucking compressor. And I'm gonna take her for a ride and see if changing that oil pressure sensor fixed it or not. I'm probably about 90% sure that that's what the problem was. Because if there was no oil pressure, we've been driving like that for a couple of weeks, I would have heard some knocking, and that oil light would have came on steady, not just came and gone, and I wouldn't have had any oil in here, it would have been gone. And so I'm going to put my tools away and take her for a ride, and I'll let you guys know what happens.